What's going on? And Happy New Year to everybody. Here with the doctor, Dr. Will Dodson, which, God, you have a lot of fans in the house tonight. Got to highlight Sibner. Yes, I have an appointment with Dr. Dodson at 9:30. Insurance? Oh, I have a Franco Blu-ray.
It may be contagious.
How we doing, doctor?
Oh, man, I'm in a weird mood. It's going to take me a second to settle in. Like, I'm simultaneously really, really happy and really, really freaking out, which I guess is a apropos in the new year.
Yeah.
You know, like I bet a lot of people are feeling like this. It's like, all right, Happy New Year. Things are going to look up, maybe
In a few days, hopefully.
Shit. World, I'm reminded of the fact that I first became aware of you on the day that Russia invaded Ukraine. That is a fact.
And ever since, the world has been in turmoil, and then also at war.
Yeah, honestly. So greetings to everybody. I hope, I see all these very nice posts. It's great. I want to say, Josephine, Americanization of Emily. I remember that movie being very interesting. I actually have the DVD of it in a stack of movies to watch to decide if I want to keep them, mainly because it's a DVD and it hasn't gotten an HD upgrade. So maybe we'll see that happen in 2024. Who knows? Hey, Craig. Hey, Stan. Hey, D. Sibner. Just everybody. Hey, thanks for being here. How you doing, Ryan? Do you have any New Year's resolutions?
I don't. A couple years ago, I decided not to have any resolutions because I just plain didn't stick to them. So I'm just going to focus on doing better at everything I do.
I was going to do dry January.
How's that going, Will?
I'm going to start a little late.
Start dry January and February.
Well, it's a leap year.
Why are you so stressed at the moment? What's happening?
You know why. You know goddamn why.
You want to share with the class?
No.
I mean, you just can't say who you're working for, but yeah, we got a little bit going on right now, eh?
Well, hey, you know what we should do? Let's do a twinsies stand up. 3, 2.
I'll just lift my shirt. Both wearing our uniforms.
Repping the brand.
So why are you so stressed right now? What's going on in life?
A lot of work going on. I'm really excited about just today, actually, I got confirmation of a book project, a collection of essays on a filmmaker that people will be very interested in. And I'm going to be contributing an essay to it that I think people will be interested in about this filmmaker that people will find interesting. Can't announce that yet, but so got a new book project coming along and lots and lots of projects for someone's favorite. So hopefully we'll be able to announce some of them soon.
Literally over the next 5 to 7 days, someone's favorite is working on, I think we have 4 visual essays, a commentary, and 2 written essays that our cohort are...
Shit, the commentary.
That we are all coming together to bring to fruition. It's going to be a very, very busy week for all of us. A couple comments on here. Did you see this? Let's see. Humboldt Horror Honey. Love the Spidey Lab commentary.
Thanks. That's awesome.
And then Sardis is asking, did you see the trailer for the Swiss Conspiracy release with your name in it?
No. I didn't know that was a thing. Cool. That's cool.
Whoa.
Really?
I mean, that's great. I don't want to argue with that. Hey, we're doing a visual essay for Deaf Crocodile. I probably don't want the title announced yet.
Almost done.
Going to be a busy weekend, like we said. And then Dustin, thank you for that, Dustin. You are incredible. Ryan and Will, bravo to you both on the outstanding commentary for Spider Labyrinth. Enlightening and entertaining, made me appreciate the film all the more.
Thank you. really, I don't want to be self-aggrandizing though. Like this show, I know this is gonna sound cheesy, but the show is about the community. It's about everybody. Like it's about everybody who's here watching and who's supporting all the labels. And I'm really happy that we're able to do some work and that this bullshit degree is finally doing some good for me, for somebody. Um, it's kind of amazing, but the big story of the week is not us. It's not partner subscriber week, right? We got to talk about that.
Yeah, going to be talking about a lot of that stuff. That's the main focus of announcements tonight. Not too many of everything else. Seems like everybody else kind of took the week off. Even Kino has not really said anything this week. We got like 3 from them, and that's it.
Well, everybody was like, little darlings, we might as well not bother.
Pack it up. That's it.
Everybody's gonna be like, oh, darlings.
Well, I mean, you just said something that it's the beginning of the year. I probably should kind of bring like a grounding moment for a second and really highlight Thursday night show. This is called Reconnected for a reason. So the entire community here is literally the point of all of this. All of you in the chat, all of you listening on replay tomorrow and over the weekend, all of you listening to the podcast as you're driving to work over the next couple of days, everybody doing this. This is the entire point of Thursday night, to come together, to find that home of, we're all super busy for the rest of the week, but this is something that we can all count on, to come together, to find like-minded people that love film, that love physical media, that love each other, that are super supportive of all this, and really just find that true sense of community. And that's where the name Disconnected is from, is it's connected for that. But even then, like, as we all get lost in our lives throughout the week, Thursday nights are for getting reconnected for me. And this thing is energizing every single week for me. I could be having the worst possible week and sit down at this mic, and I could be sick and suddenly be able to speak for 3.5 hours, which is wild. I don't know how that works, but seeing everybody here is just incredible. I appreciate everybody showing up every week. Will, I appreciate you doing this every Thursday night of the beginning of the month for God knows how many months now. And yet I also get to talk to you all the time now because we work together. So it's a huge, wonderful friendship that we've granted. And everybody that's in the chat, you guys are all a part of it. And I just appreciate you all.
Yeah, absolutely. I was not able to watch live the last 2 weeks, and it actually bugged me. So that tells you something, right? Like,
yeah,
the fact that, the fact that people really get into it and come to the live show and stick around when it goes 5-6 hours.
Oh man. Let's get into the regular stuff then. You got any recent pickups near you want to talk about?
Oh shit. Yeah.
I'll share mine first while you grab those if you'd like.
Okay.
So I wanted to highlight a company that people seem to forget about a little bit right now because they don't do their big sales that they used to. Who else misses the Warner Archive 4 for $44 sale? I think a lot of people used to go 2 or 3 times a year that they did it or whatever, and kind of splurge because $11 on these really well cared for discs was amazing. I didn't love the switch to Amazon that they've been focusing on, and then the whole Movies Inc. site is really weird. But I really want to point out that if you are an Amazon shopper, they are selling for less than $11 a piece sometimes. I think all 4 of these were less than $11. So this was 4 for even less than 44. So Warner Archive just plain gets forgotten. So I wanted to highlight some of these, and I think yes, all 4 of these are full-blown blind buys. They've just been sitting here in my wish list. And first one, wanting to be getting into Judy Garland more, and I've never seen The Clock, and obviously this is a big one, so had to pick this up. That's also got Robert Walker in it, and this has a vintage Pete Smith specialty short, Hollywood Scout, classic cartoon called The Screwy Truant, and then an audio-only bonus radio show. Love the radio show things they put on here. And then Garbo, this one's a fairly recent one. This was super cheap already. Queen Christina, Let's see. We've got episode of 1956 MGM Parade television series about Greta Garbo's career at the studio. And then 2 that I've been dying to get. Hey there, it's Yogi Bear. I talk about animation stuff all the time. Love animation. Had to get this. The year on this one, if I remember right, is like shockingly early. And of course, it's not easy to find right at the moment. But yeah, had to get this. And then finally, people have been raving about this release, and I just never got around to picking it up. The Wonderful World of Brothers Grimm. This is one of the Cinerama releases. Have been dying to see this. This is 2 discs. They also have the Smile Box version on here. Also has the letterbox version, of course. Their 2-disc releases are always super well super well curated. Way like proper restoration, good encoding. They handle their stuff well. They always use the classic original art. Like, how do you argue with these releases, especially when they get down to like $10, $10.50? Had to do it for those. Michael, Radiance has a publication called Dirty Art House that is similar to yours. Any chance you can get a label to hawk yours through them? That would be nice. It's a little different, but we're going to be talking to Fran about some stuff soon, so we shall see.
I love the clock. Will. I love the clock. That's great.
Good.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. So what do you got?
Well, most of mine are actually going to be Warner Archive too, but I'll highlight a couple things.
Interesting.
Not because he's here, but I got Benny's Bathtub. Super excited to watch the extra features, the kids show, especially the one where they meet the Black Panthers that we talked about a couple months ago. So really excited there, and just watched the Tale of Sar Sultan as kind of part of some background research I was doing, and loved it. From Cult Epics, I got the Marlene Goris trilogy,
Nice.
which I found in a like super discounted on Amazon actually for $30. All 3 of the films.
That's a good price.
Yeah. Question of Silence, Broken Mirrors, and The Last Island, which I think Cult Epics was selling for twice that.
Jeez.
So I feel bad taking money away from Cult Epics, but
hey, they got paid either way.
I got it. So here are a couple. Yeah, the Warner Archives. I'm trying to get as many of them as I can. Just don't know what's going to happen. But recently, and because they don't do the 4 for $44 anymore, at least not that I'm aware of, I don't mind getting these at Amazon when they drop super low. So I got a couple of Vincent Minnelli movies. The Courtship of Eddie's Father.
Nice.
Father's Little Dividend. So some minor Minnelli, but I always like Minnelli. Something else happened between 2023 and 2024. I have full-on reading glasses now that I have to use. I can't fake it anymore. So here we've got what the hell? I can't even read.
This is engaging television, by the way.
Yeah, right. Life of Emile Zola with Paul Mooney. Pretty excited about that. A Robert Wise picture I hadn't seen before, Helen of Troy. Nice little epic. And the George Cukor version of Little Women with Katharine Hepburn. So pretty excited about all those. And then I'll showcase 2 Kino releases. The first, I was excited about this, the Anime Wall.
Yeah.
So I got that. Really looking forward to the Sam Deegan commentary. And then from your very favorite series, I got the Film Noir 15. This has a Jack Arnold movie in it, The Tattered Dress. Tattered Dress is a Jack Arnold movie. And as you know, I am very late working on a Jack Arnold essay for a book. So any excuse I have to pick up a Jack Arnold movie, I take it. So those are the pickups I'll highlight.
I appreciate all those. Sibner had a real question for you.
What's that?
He says, oh man, maybe he deleted it because it's not popping up. It might just not be working. It says, I've got a real question for Will.
Oh,
What is there it is. What is the focus of your classes? Like, other than appreciation of each genre or auteur, what is the relation to the film or directors that you try and convey?
Well, it depends on the class, but um, generally I'm pretty comprehensive. So let's say you take my course on Hollywood musicals and the American Dream. You're going to learn about the transition from silent to sound. So there's like that technology aspect. You're going to, through looking at choreography, you're going to learn about mise en scène, stage direction, and editing. So like editing for choreography is how I teach editing. So you'll get that kind of technical and artistic analysis stuff. But you'll also be learning about the Great Depression and the effect of World War II on the American economy, and the way the Hollywood studios kind of evolved from 1929 to about 1990, because that's about where I cut off that particular class. Well, no, actually, I've gone as far as I did. This was before the cancel era. I did end the class with Team America World Police one time. And
How'd that go over?
people were astonished. They were like, it just kept going and going, and they were like, "Oh my god!" And it's funny because like we start the class with Gold Diggers of 1933, right? And then, I mean, it changes, but I always start with Gold Diggers of 1933. And they see a lot of stuff from the classic era, mainly because I know the students haven't watched that much from before Tarantino,
Yeesh.
right? In fact, a lot of kids today don't know who Tarantino is. You know, like Pulp Fiction was like 30 years ago.
Jeez,
All right.
that's kind of depressing.
So that's a long way of answering the question, but like it's always a mix of history, like historical context, technical and formal analysis, and then yeah, the films and filmmakers themselves. So we always look at the director, the main stars, cinematographers, wardrobe when it's relevant. You know, it just kind of depends on the film. My tastes do sometimes guide that. You know, and I do tend to focus on the director, because even you don't have to be an auteur to direct, right? If you're the director, you direct all of the people who are involved, if you're any good at being a director. So that's
Tony
it.
wants to know, do you do online classes? And if so, can international students apply?
I do, but all the online classes I do are kind of prescribed by whatever institution I'm working for. So I don't recommend it. But yes, international students can take them, but I wouldn't. There's no real, there's no real
As you
personality to
can,
them.
but I mean, I don't know, don't do it. So after tonight, since there's not a ton of announcements like normal during the first week, Will and I are actually going to do some discussion. We're going to talk about some like 5 of our favorite events or things that happened in 2023, and
Oh,
then
really? We're really doing that?
yeah, we're really doing that, my friend. We might cover some of our favorite releases. We might come like see how the conversation carries. We might cover some wishes for 2024. There's a lot that we can talk about tonight. The last year in retrospect is kind of an insane year for both of us, and it's been a giant learning curve, and I'm excited for it. But I reckon it's been 20 minutes. I think it's probably time we cover these announcements. What do you think?
Yeah, you know, I'm not going to pretend like I prepare for this show, but I am even less prepared than normal. I don't even remember what the Vinegar Syndrome announcements were. Like, this is going to be a journey of discovery.
Oh, they're putting that out. Nice.
Like, oh,
Um, to put the day into perspective that Will and I have had, literally at the show starts at my time at 8:30,
oh,
and at
nice, John.
8:21 p.m. tonight, I uploaded a ProRes of our latest visual essay that we completed today. So it's been a very, very busy day, and eager to see what comes next. So
I will say this: that particular visual essay is unlike any visual essay that has ever been created by any label ever. I don't know
you
if the
know what's
label is going to. I don't know if the label is going to accept it, but if they do, you will see something like you've never seen before.
you know what's really cool though? I can say that about like 4 of our visual essays so far. Genuinely, I think that they've all been really great and super unique, and kinda, like, pushing some boundaries of what you would call a visual essay.
Unfortunately, we won't be able to say that about the Deaf Crocodile Project. That's going to be pretty standard, conventional, and anonymous. Like, you won't even know who made it.
Just because he's watching, that's the only reason it's not unique. Alright, let's talk about Mandy for a second, my friend, before we dive into everything.
Okay. Last month, I made the challenge pledge that anyone who purchased Indispensable, shit, is that the name of it? Indispensable, the documentary from Synapse.
Uh-oh.
Invaluable.
Invaluable.
Invaluable, the true story of an epic artist, which also features the documentary Other Men's Careers about Josh Becker. If you purchase this from Synapse and posted a review, like a letterbox review, and a proof of purchase, that everyone who did that, I would watch Mandy that many times. So far, one taker. So I'm going to extend it. I'm going to extend it one more month. During the month of February, anybody who purchases
January.
no, I'm yeah, right. You're correct. As usual.
What a subtle dig there.
No, you usually are. But I do want to be clear. You're not always. It's just that whenever we're on camera, you always seem to be. So anybody in the month of January who purchases Invaluable posts a review on Letterboxd and shares like a picture in the Discord or some other way to prove that the fine folks at Synapse have gotten their sale. I will watch Mandy that many times. So far, the number of times that I have to watch Mandy is once. I would love it if I had to watch Mandy 5 or 6 times this month. Make me do it, and then I will give an updated review on the February show.
If you have to watch Mandy 6 times in the next month, that would really screw over our plans.
Like Trent Reznor said, I'll find a way.
Good to know. Good to know. All right. So our discussion tonight, we were just going to go over some fun things from 2023, maybe some of our favorite releases, maybe some wishes for 2024.
I completely forgot.
I
got notes.
You got notes. Interesting.
Yeah,
favorite moments from 2023. You want to list a couple and go into some discussion there?
So, okay. I'll share a couple of favorite moments. In terms of world history, this was a tough year. Not a lot of victories for people who share my general ethical stance. Some, not a lot. But we're also all human beings who go through every day. And I thought I'd take stock of a couple of moments in my life where I was just like glad to make a connection. I'm a pretty solitary person, um, and so anytime I make a connection with another person, it's a big deal. So I'll share a couple moments that I recall. Um, no, one is not meeting Jeremy. Um, I'm just kidding. One actually is. Um, I was going to the airport to go to a conference, and it was pretty early in the morning, and uh, I went to the airport Starbucks to get a cup of coffee, and I was wearing this very hoodie that I'm wearing right now, my full moon features hoodie, and it was like 6 in the morning maybe, and which meant that I had to get up at 4 to get the airport in time. Um, and Which actually was kind of lucky. Like if I lived in a real big city, I have to get up earlier than that. But I was there at the airport Starbucks, and the woman making my coffee said, "Full moon, I love them." I My eyes opened up a little bit, and I looked at her and said, "Oh yeah," and she goes, "Yeah, Puppet Master." And then I was like, and then I had this like fanboy moment where I'm like, okay, she knows the popular full moon. I couldn't even give her that. I'm such an asshole that I couldn't even be like, this lady knows full moon. That's cool.
Right.
I had to be like, oh, Puppet Master. Everybody knows Puppet Master. But then she goes, Castle Freak. I was like, oh shit, I love you, dude. And so we had this moment where we just talked about, oh, I love Castle Freak and the Puppet Master, and she'd seen a subspecies film and was just like into the movies. And uh, I was like, "Oh, you go, airport Starbucks lady," and I didn't, of course, have the decency to even look at her name tag and remember her name. But it was just like it was this moment in my life where I was like, "Oh my gosh," like other people have inner lives and experiences and hopes and dreams. And it's that reminder that like every human being is a human being. And in this
Yeah.
particular moment, this woman looked at me and saw something she recognized and was like, "Hey, I'm going to reach out and say I share this interest." And that stuck with me. That was like in January maybe of last. Oh, it was early in 2023, and I was like, "Wow, man!" And it kept me warm all year. Kept me warm.
So the affair's been going on for like 10 months now.
Oh no, dude. No. uh, but I'm sure we'd be friends if if I had not left almost instantly to get on my plane. But yeah, no, actually, you know what? You want the true story? True story. I saw her again, like on my next flight, and um, had the same hoodie on. She was like, "Ah, full moon guy," and I'm like, "Hey." We didn't really go past that. Thanks for puncturing the happy balloon of the story. The point was that we had a moment. It didn't go beyond that.
It seems like a lot of people are going down the same path. Sibner, is this where Will reveals he's leaving his wife?
Like, why would
Anthony,
anybody
did you
think
date
that?
this girl as well? Did I steal your joke? Hell no, I didn't.
Uh, has she been on camera on my wife is awesome, dude.
She's never been on camera on the show.
She is way better than I deserve. No chance. No chance. I've like even if the opportunity presents itself, and it has, I wouldn't. Got no interest. Got no interest. My wife's awesome, dude.
Anyways, one that I would love to talk about. Last spring was the Shelf Shock Rewind Awards first ceremony, and for anybody that watched it, you'll remember um, there was one title that was talked about a lot that night. It was the first time that many people had even considered buying that title. It was the first time that many people had heard more than just, hey, this is a pretty good movie starring Dennis Hopper. Um, out of the blue made a really big impact that night for a lot of people. And that was February of last year. And then I think it was April or May of 2023. I was astonished because I was able to go see that very restoration at a local theater here, and that is super rare that stuff like that gets to happen for a film that probably played most theaters the year prior. But to have it happen after that fact, after I had that moment where I spoke to everybody surrounding the restoration and all that, man, I I had a night in the theater that I will probably never forget. Sitting in a theater that was, I think it's only made to sit 32 people, something like that, and it was basically full. I think there was 3 empty seats for people there to see Out of the Blue, and I know that sounds very small, but for a film like that in Kansas City, 40 years after it came out or whatever, that was a pretty big, or it's more than that, almost 50 years after it came out. That was a pretty big deal. Um, Watching these people, half the room had seen the film, but you could hear the other half that had never seen it. And there's a big climactic moment in the last literal 2 minutes of that movie that is shocking. If you're not catching what's about to happen, it's rather shocking how that movie ends. And it ends with a bang, basically. And to hear everybody react to that 50-year-old film together who had never seen it, man, it was like a living theater in that moment, and it was one of the best theater experiences I've had in a long time. Loved being able to feel that. It was the first time my wife had watched it. She couldn't stop talking about the movie for like 3 days. Love that movie.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, that's actually a good segue to my next one. Since I mentioned my wife, and some people in the chat disrespected her, um, and you mentioned yours. My next favorite moment of 2023 was on Mother's Day. I had the chance to take my wife Sky to see Subspecies 5 in a theater. Now, you're right to laugh, but the Subspecies series, which is a full moon series, is both of our favorite vampire series. In fact, when we first started dating, I can't remember why, but she was staying over at my place, and I had to go somewhere. I think I had to go. I was going to see a friend. We had something we had to do, and so she hung out and she like ran the Subspecies series, which she had seen before but hadn't watched like as an adult, and fell in love with the Subspecies series. And we moved and we were near an Alamo Draft House. I found out that Subspecies 5 was going to play at Alamo Draft House, got tickets, did some other stuff to make a special Mother's Day thing, and got her there without her knowing that that's what we were going to see. And the thing about Subspecies, love or hate the movies, they look gorgeous, right? They're shot in Romania. They really like lean into the fact that this is Dracula's hometown. Like the mountains, the mist, the architecture is just gorgeous. It's so gothic and spooky. And for the two of us who enjoyed the first 4 films plus the spinoff Vampire Journals, to see a prequel, one of the first full moon movie in seems like decades that had a decent budget, and looked theatrical. I never thought I'd see anything with the full moon logo in a theater, and for it to be that, for it to be Mother's Day, for it to be with my wife, that was probably our like couple highlight of the year. Subspecies 5. Yeah.
I love that. How do you even follow up Subspecies? Gosh, so many interesting moments to talk about over the last year. The big one that I really want to get out of the way though is just little announcement. in September of this thing that's on my shirt tonight. Someone's favorite um, kind of made a giant impact on my life this year, and you being a big part of that was huge. And working together with you has been um, a headache and fun. And
You
uh,
can go ahead and say I'm a real dick.
it depends on which project we're talking about. So far, it's been a hell of a lot of fun. I I feel bad, talking so secretively about all these things, but when we only have a couple projects technically announced, and I swear we've turned in like 11 things already. It's wild how little has been announced. It's going to be interesting when
And we got 11 due next week.
just by Monday. Yes. Uh, it's going to be a busy weekend. Yeah, someone's favorite has been huge, and I'm sure you wanted to say more about this, so I'll let you segue from here. But I'll pick up the entrails after that.
No, it wasn't on my list.
I kind of figured.
No, it is, but it's number 2. No, yeah. All right, well, I'll go ahead and put it there. So yeah, my number 3. I can say we can't say the details, but we can say that this whole thing started. I hope we can say this. This whole thing started with the two of us independently responding to a tweet. Now, how many stories start out that way but turn out good?
Right.
The two of us independently responded to a tweet, which then turned into us saying, well, hey, you want to just do it together? To let's make it a thing. To, oh my God, it's too much. We need more people. To, to me saying, you know what I really want to do is re-record and rewrite Spider Lambert commentary. Like today. Oh shit. All right. Pull up Craig's announcement.
Oh man. There it is.
All right. So yeah, without belaboring a point, we've started producing features for Blu-rays. We're very excited to do it. It's been great. I'll get to my favorite moment of 2023 in a second. But as Craig just announced, we are working on a feature for the Soviet film Kin Za, which for weeks I've been pronouncing Kin Dizza Dizza.
So funny every time.
It's Kin Za. But I like to pretend that it's gonna be a hip hop holiday. Anyway, so yeah, that's happening. I don't know. Hopefully, Craig will accept it. We'll see how it goes. But speaking of favorite moments of 2023, as regular viewers will know, I did fly out to Kansas City to see Ryan and by extension Jeremy in person. My plane partially exploded on the way. It was very scary. There are no jokes involved. Thought I was going to die, but made it. And what was really cool was, you meet somebody online, and rarely do you meet them in real life. And then when you do meet them in real life, it can be really weird because like you've talked to them over a camera, but now you're standing in front of each other. And I got out, of baggage claim, and this car pulls up, and Jeremy Long gets out of the car, and Ryan gets out of the car, and Jeremy tried to hug me, and I sidestepped him, and because I felt like I should hug Ryan first, and so I gave Ryan a hug, and he's taller than I am, which is a rare experience for me, and it felt good. And then here's the really weird part. Then I turned around and I hugged Jeremy Long, and you know what? That felt good too.
You also forgot to mention that when I hugged you, I literally picked you up off the ground.
You did do that, and I appreciate the spine stretch, but I want to take a second to say, Jeremy, despite everything about you, I love you, man.
Can you say that one more time?
Jeremy, despite everything about who you are, your taste in film, your comedy, I love you, man. And that moment we shared at the airport, both to and from, that was for real. Now let's talk about Kinzaza for a second. That shit's an amazing movie. You guys don't even know what's about to happen.
If you don't know what Kinzaza is, great looking movie, sci-fi, really great shots in this movie. Excited for it.
My only critique is the almost total catlessness.
Almost. Man, so Jeremy and Will showing up here this year was obviously a huge moment, but having the full-blown let's nerd out on a handful of movies and just discuss them to death over a weekend was fun and laborious and interesting, and yeah.
Oh man, can't wait till everybody sees the trivia game.
I need so much more free time to edit. That thing's going to take forever.
You guys,
it's going to come out in April as a Patreon exclusive or something.
No, you guys, when the trivia game comes out, holy shit, that's going to be the end of the world.
Craig, we are trying to do something where we can all go to LA soon, I promise.
Oh yeah, dude. My sister lives out there. We'll do something.
All right. My next moment, funny enough, not saying this because it just got brought up in chat, but my big moment that my kids still talk about is when we all got to meet, not this one. I clicked the wrong one. John DeMarsico. My family got to meet John DeMarsico in person this year at the Kansas City Stadium.
Yeah.
John was here for a Mets game, and my kids still talk about going in the broadcast little trailer that they do, and they had a freaking blast. It was the first time that they were able to go to a baseball game in a couple of years, and watching them light up, being able to be inside. My youngest thinking he's controlling the cameras and all that. It was an incredible time. Fun night, super hot, humid, of course. But man, it's the second time I got to meet John in person, and John is special. He's one of those people that's super generous, just wonderful human being, and I can't wait to have him on again for the Oscar show coming up in the next couple months. Gonna be
for real? Oh, that'll be cool.
Me, John, and Jeremy. That's the yearly tradition.
Well, let John direct the cameras.
He'll probably direct Jeremy to turn his off. That was a better joke than Jeremy's ever made on here.
Too.
That's true. All right.
I've said it before, but man, for a one-liner comedian, Jesus Christ, he's the William Faulkner of one-liners.
All right. What's your next one, sir, that you want to talk about?
Nice English major joke. My number two is I took my 16-year-old Ansel to see The Hunger Games, the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. Is that right?
Yeah.
And
it wasn't bad.
No, it wasn't bad. That's not the moment though. That's the prelude. So we're visiting my parents for Thanksgiving, and it's like we gotta visit. I gotta share a room and all this like first world problem stuff. And I was like, okay, well, Ansel, let's me and you go do something. And I looked at what movies were playing. I was like, I was trying to get him to go see Thanksgiving, and he was like, I was like, yeah, pick from this list of movies. We got Thanksgiving, we got Hunger Games. And he's like, let's go see Hunger Games. I'm like, okay. And then as we're going, I look at the Hunger Games. I'm like, oh Jesus Christ, it's 2.5 hours long. But we get there, and the movie does not put me to sleep. It's got some things in it. And I'm like, okay.
It's got some things in it. The best kind of movie has some things in it.
It's got way too many country songs. Like, it could have been 2 hours with none of that bullshit singing. But anyways, that's not the point. The moment was actually kind of heartwarming. After the movie was over, Ansel was like, hey, I'm hungry. Can we go to Bojangles? I'm like, well, Bojangles? We can go back to the house and get like actual food. Oh, it's a Bojangles, a chicken sandwich. And I'm like, fine, because I'm very indulgent. So we pull into this Bojangles and we come up to the order place thing, the speaker. The thing where you order the food. And they're like, can I help you? And I go, I always do this, and most times I can tell the people are annoyed, but I always say, hey, how you doing? And there's a pause, and they're like, oh man, just trying to make it through. And I was like, yeah, I hear you. Me too. Hey, listen, can I get a chicken sandwich, just plain? Some bow fries. And we pull around, and that's all I did, man. That's all I did was say, hey, how you doing? And I ordered my chicken sandwich and some bow fries. And when we get to the window, not only was the person who taken the order there, but like 2 other employees were at the window. And they give us our food, and they were like, hey, we want you to have this for free. And I'm like, what are you doing? And they say, man, you're the first person that's talked to us like human beings all day.
Eesh.
Literally, that's what they like. And I look over, and Ansel's like, what the fuck is happening? and they start talking about, how people have been like yelling at them and cussing at them and just being generally rude and whatnot. And I mean, like, I can't take any credit. I didn't do anything. I just said, hey, how you doing? There wasn't any like motivation or forethought into it, but they're telling me how it made them feel. And I started tearing up, like a little bitch. But I did. I actually got a tear in my eye, and I was like, thanks a lot. You don't deserve to be abused. Have a good night. And so my kid got a free chicken sandwich. So it just goes to show it pays to be polite. But no, it was just, I don't know, like, it's hard to describe. I looked into these people's faces, and you go through it. We live in this capitalist society where everything's transactional, and you interact with a ton of people, and you never really look at them. And in that moment, I looked at these, fucking rednecks, and was like, oh man, all right, we're human beings together right now.
You saw the humanity.
I'm not a good guy, but that was a nice moment.
I love the attempted toxic masculinity in the middle of that too. Mine, the next one I was going to talk about is going to be nothing compared to that, I guess. But it's really easy to overhype movies that you should have seen a long time ago and go into it expecting the world and have them kind of suck in comparison with what you were feeling it was going to be for the last 20 years or whatever. I've done that for a very long time with the movie that I've never got to see. I never bought the old DVD because I knew it was going to get upgraded. I was being stubborn, probably could have watched it years ago. Finally this year, Criterion released After Hours on 4K, and I went and watched it and had a damn good time. That movie, after hyping it up for so long, could have been awful, and somehow it's so much better even than I was hyping it up to be. It's like genuinely one of his greats. That movie is so much freaking fun, incredible cast, like really good commentary on that disc because it's not just Scorsese just recalling memories. It's a handful of people taking turns speaking on things, and that release, that story, the everything about that movie was just great. Really want to highlight that, and the other one that really made me feel that same way this year was discovering Chameleon Street. Arbelos putting out Chameleon Street. That movie is freaking amazing. I've been sitting on half a review for the channel for a Chameleon Street for like 2.5 months, and someone's favorite has gotten in the way of it the entire time. But not someone's favorite, Chameleon Street. The whole disc is astonishing. The restoration work is mind blowing. The extras on it are great. The story is just so compelling. It's the better version of Catch Me If You Can, essentially, and it's just one of those releases that I don't understand how people didn't clamor after that release, because every single review for that has just been, wow, this is amazing. How has the world not seen this yet? And that's exactly how I feel after seeing it. That's it.
You know, it would be a good double feature with After Hours. Do a Rosanna Arquette double feature. After Hours and David Cronenberg's Crash. That'd be a good double feature.
Yeah, I could see that.
I think there's tonal commonalities. Yeah.
Some craziness, yeah. That'd be fun.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
All right, my friend. Is this a number one time then?
So my number one actually just happened. I shared. There might be recency bias, but and technically it's also not 2023, but it just happened, and it was really funny because, well, I'll tell you why it was funny. Like most of my jokes, I'll tell the joke and then tell you why it was funny. Okay, so I'm going to turn my camera here. And all right. What you just saw was a small drum kit. Now, up until about an hour before this show was to begin, my 11-year-old daughter, Helen, was supposed to sit at the drum kit, and when the camera cut on, she was going to be sitting at the drum kit with the sticks in the air, and I was going to be screaming at her, "Were you rushing or were you dragging?" And then I was going to see the camera and turn it away real quick, and she was going to go to bed. And I thought it would be funny to make like a 4 years too late Whiplash joke. Yeah. Is that the name of the movie? Yes. I always confuse it with the roller derby movie. So I was going to make a Whiplash joke where when the show started, I was going to be screaming at my child sitting in a drum kit. And she was all in all week until she found out that the show started at 9:30. And she informed me that her bedtime was at 9. And she had no intention of staying up past 9. I did not anticipate this. As some of you know, she's made appearances on the show before. She has had no problem staying up past 9. But recently she's decided that she wanted to go to bed at 9 and so on. So I was putting her to bed at 9. And singing her song and everything. And I started to leave. I said goodnight, and I started to leave. And she was like, "Wait, don't go yet." And I said, "Well, sweetie, I have to leave. I have to come up with another bit to start the show." And she said, "Why do you have to have a bit? Why can't you just say hi?" Which tangent is what I actually did. But I said to her, I was like, I was just playing with you to make you feel guilty. I don't really want you to feel guilty. It's fine. Not a big deal. I'll come up with another bit. She was like, Why do you have to have a bit? And I said, well, I just like to start off with a joke. And she goes, without missing a beat, she goes, but Daddy, you are the joke. And she held my gaze for a second, and then she smiled and said, just kidding. And I was like, that's my kid. That's my kid. Roasting me right after disappointing me.
Right after her bedtime that she's not supposed to be up after.
So that's my number one.
Wow, that's a fun one. I could easily name multiple interviews this year to be a number one, but wouldn't want to make favorites. I will happily say though, I think this has been number one for me this year. Working on this,
Yeah, it's
working with
amazing.
certain people, seeing people from all over the community want to come together and write, and having people like Craig. I mentioned to Craig, hey, I'd love to have you write in the zine, and he came back to me after like 2 days and went, hey, I didn't know what to write, so I sat down and accidentally wrote a 5,000 word story of my life. Do you want that? And I
Awesome.
was like, what? Of course. And he's like, well, nobody's going to want to read it. And I will tell you right now, I've gotten more compliments over Craig's piece on the story of his life this year than on any other thing that was in the zine. And it was so much fun to see all of these brought together across 7 different issues so far. See the art come together for the covers. See everybody respond to seeing what's in between the pages. It's been a wild year for it. Like, I never thought I'd be writing a magazine ever. After magazines basically have died, and now here I am creating one literally every month, and I don't know what I'm doing with my life. Like, this is a weird time. Yeah, I'm hoping to get the rest on physical soon, because that has been the most gratifying part.
Yeah. Well, let's see. Boutique Blu-rays, magazines, vinyl, cassettes. I guess we'll start a CD club next. Yeah.
Man.
Well, I have to say the physical, that's been a very pleasant surprise, because it went from being like a legit, like just kind of thrown together zine to a like slick production. And it's been really great seeing, all these folks who are in one way or another connection to the industry, Craig, Stan, you know, um, contributing. It's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good number one.
Yeah, that's all I got. There's lots of releases from last year that were astonishing. A couple you want to throw out here that were great for you?
Every year, I used to do this with on Christian's hobby blog. I would always do like 20 movies that I want to see get HD releases.
Yep.
And a lot of the ones off of my 2022 list came out. Killer Condom, Mother's Day. We got announcements for Chaser. Word is Mute Witness is happening at some point. So that's been really exciting. I have more to mention, but I'm just going to say one movie that I really hope gets, and this has to be a 4K, honestly, and that's Norifumi Suzuki's Sex and Fury with the great Riko Ike, the ultimate pinky violence movie. We saw Zero Woman Red Handcuffs come out on Neon Eagle.
Great release, by the way.
Sex and Fury is the only pinky violence movie I would rank above Zero Woman Red Handcuffs. Although there are a lot of great pinky violence movies. A lot of great pinky violence movies starring Riko Ike. But this is the best one. Someone give us Sex and Fury. This movie is so good that when the DVD went out of print, I bought a second DVD, not to sell, but just in case this one broke. It's the only thing I have in my safe. If thieves were to break into this rental house and open my safe, they would find a factory sealed
They would be so
of
confused.
Sex and Fury, Norifumi Suzuki's masterpiece.
Oh man, that's great. That's amazing. Um, I got a weird question to put you on the spot, and I think it'll be fun to screw with people. What about you name 3 labels that you would love for someone's favorite to do something for this year?
Oh,
Hold on. That we haven't done something for yet,
uh,
which means
no. We can't do
which
that.
yes, we can, because if we don't name them, we might have already done something for them.
Right. I don't think we should. I don't think we can do that.
I think you can.
Melusine.
Literally, yeah.
Literally. What'd you
Yes.
say? It's like, hey, mom, top of the world. uh, uh, well, no, I don't. I don't feel. I don't want to. I don't want to pander or put pressure on anybody.
I really expected the first thing to be Criterion, because that will never happen.
Okay, Criterion. I want to do their woke movies. I want to do a woke movie. Criterion.
So Melusine, Criterion, and we'll say Echo Bridge.
I want to be the go-to Mill Creek guy.
Hey, if they do 4K releases of the Andy Sedaris films, call us. I would be all about that life.
Oh, dude! Speaking of, I got a ticket to see Hard Ticket to Hawaii at the Alamo next
No
week.
way. That's
I'm so
amazing.
stoked.
That sounds so fun.
Talk about boobies. All right, I'll tell you what. My wish list of labels to work for is anyone who puts out anything directed by Jim Wynorski.
Who
So
is that nowadays? That's
nobody. Almost all his stuff is still on DVD, and most of the DVDs are out of print. So
the Hills
there's
Have
like
Thighs just came out recently on Blue, but it was an
Make
upscale or
Flicks.
something, right?
Make Flicks did that, I think, right? Retro
Yeah.
media stuff.
Yeah. But from what I hear, it was just a DVD upscale to Blue. It wasn't even a proper HD transfer.
Well, I mean, Oh, you know what I would really like to do? Fred Olin Ray's Hallmark Channel Christmas movies.
That would be a lot of fun.
There's like 15 of them.
Yeah. Doesn't he get a bunch of old cult actresses in those still?
Yes.
That's awesome.
Always. And I think that's great. People are talented regardless of their age, And so I know that I'm totally dodging your question, but I honestly, I would like to do something for pretty much every label.
Same.
And we have not done stuff for every label.
Good answer.
Why don't you say? You say. You say first. Make it okay.
For a lot of people I've talked with, I would love to do something for Canadian International Pictures. I would love to do something for Wicked Vision, our friends in Germany. That would be freaking rad to have a international release. An Imprint. That's somebody that I've had a lot of respect for a long time. I'd love to work with Imprint.
You know what I'd like to do? Unearthed.
Yeah, I tried that this year. That got a little weird.
I don't know what they put out.
They're putting out the 4K of the Guyver.
No shit. What about Guyver 2?
At the moment, no.
Well, fuck it then. I don't care. If you don't have Guyver 2, get out.
Sibner says, do a commentary for a Wicked Vision release with the Arnold accent. Oh man. Yeah, this has
No,
been fun.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry I ducked the question. I think it was a legit question, but like honestly, I'm not a superstitious person because I don't believe in magic or an afterlife, which is sad because I wish there was one. Um,
Don't we all?
like I kind of hope I'm wrong. Um, but I don't want to jinx it. That's what I'm getting to.
I get it. I just wanted to screw with people because if we leave somebody off the list, it's like, well, did they already do something? Or do they not want to do something? Yeah.
I mean, not everything's been like accepted. Yeah, I'm not trying to. I'm just hoping. I'm hoping that the work is good enough. You know.
You know what the funny thing is we both have so little of an ego that there's a bunch of stuff that's been turned in that we're like, it's never been announced, so maybe they're just not putting it out, and the work we did will just not exist.
Yeah, yeah. Um, I don't know. I guess there's some like ego, like in the sense of wanting everything to be as good as it can be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is, trying to do new things with a lot of this is difficult. I mean, a lot of these have an expressed pattern of releases which make people expect certain things out of them, which can turn some labels away from doing something new or innovative. But also the consumers that are getting these discs, maybe they just won't care about something, and that's genuinely taking a risk. And this stuff is expensive to make for these labels.
Yeah. Well, and like many male academics, I completely ignore what other people have done, and so everything that we do is like completely fresh and new.
Wow,
uh,
it's been a
no,
fun year.
yeah,
That
it's been cool. It's been cool to experiment with stuff.
that's the crux of what I was getting at there. Some releases this year I'd really like to shout out, that I think there's some things that are going to go under the radar because 2023 is so damn impressive. I just happen to have this from talking about it on something else. The Bruce Lee 4K box set is kind of mind blowing. In any other year that this box set didn't exist, this would
Mhm.
be like the best box set ever. Um,
Well, it
Unfortunately,
depends. It depends. Were any of your corners smushed?
no, because I ordered from Orbit, so that wouldn't happen.
Okay. Okay.
I still really want everybody to understand how much of like a miracle this thing is, that this is out
Mm.
there, and the fact that it's only $80 for everybody, not even like for subscribers, for everybody. $80 for 10 movies plus a documentary is incredible. The Shaw Brothers releases this year are stupid good. The Psycho and Hellraiser box sets from Arrow are just impeccable.
Yeah.
Enter the Video Store box set is amazing. Anthony's highlighting what I was about to mention, the Toxic Avenger 4K set. They should not look that good. They look pristine. Single disc releases that are also a big deal. Messiah of Evil from Radiance set a new bar for what like incredible releases can be. Deaf Crocodile made me appreciate animation more than I ever thought possible this year. Releasing something like the Pied Piper that looks that good, that is that compelling, that has that good of special features, made me more confident in Deaf Crocodile than I've ever been in my life.
Yeah.
Um, I am astonished that the Empire box set from Arrow could look as good as it does, and it came together perfectly. Criterion turned it around this year. The not only was After Hours a great release, but they had some others like Mean Streets finally coming out. The Pasolini box set. It's
Tod Browning.
Tod Browning is the one that I was going to end this entire thing with, but
Oh,
yes, Tod Browning. Uh, that was a big deal for me. Freaks looks better than it ever has. Um, Another big one to shout out, the Curzon sets that have suddenly came
mm,
out of nowhere that are freaking luxurious, coming out of the UK with all of Lars von Trier's movies except for one
mm,
movie. Like that's amazing. The Ruben Ostlund set coming with a card game that was made for a box set. Like that's legendary type of thing to put into something like this. Um,
Oh, don't forget. Speaking of full moon, that Empire set from Arrow.
you mean the one I already mentioned? Yeah.
Oh shit! Sorry, I wasn't listening.
I know. And really to highlight all of this is that because of what we've been doing, we do know some of the 2024 releases coming from some of these labels that haven't been announced, and there's no sign of this slowing. Like, I'm very excited for what the rest of this year will hold from labels, for what we know, for what we don't know. I'm excited for the future for physical media. I'm more hopeful for physical media in 2024 than I have been in the last 2.5 years, genuinely. With certain things happening over this last 6 months, it is amazing to see things happen like Cemetery Man in 4K,
Oh,
the Ilsa movies getting announced. Um,
yeah.
Not that it's a huge big deal for us, but like Disney putting out some of their streaming shows on physical media, that shows an actual tide turn for some of these companies. Oppenheimer selling 50,000 copies in the first week is going to change some things for some studios, guaranteed. Uh, these are just really positive things for the future.
Yeah, I will give people one teaser. Um, wait till you hear the commentary track we recorded for the new 4K upgrade UHD release of Gidget.
I thought you were actually going to tease something.
It includes all the extras from the Twilight Time edition, plus our new commentary. I won't say the label, but Gidget 2024. No, actually, you know what? If somebody is putting out Gidget, I will give you the greatest commentary you ever had. I love Gidget. The first one.
The Warriors 4K from Arrow. I've not been able to put that disc in yet. Oh, and I still don't have the Last Picture Show set. This one's difficult because I've got the Sony Columbia Classics box set that has the Last Picture Show. So like it doesn't have Texasville, so I understand there's a reason, but it's tough.
Texasville is not Bogdanovich's best movie, but you kind of got to do it. I'm pretty excited about Daisy Miller coming out, the Bogdanovich film. Also not regarded as one of his best movies, but I'm very interested in seeing it.
Sibner says, Will, you should do cameos, but instead of cameos, it's straight to the camera commentaries.
I don't think anybody would pay money for me to talk to him. Otherwise, my OnlyFans would have taken off.
Anyways, anything else?
I wish we'd had OnlyFans when I was young, dude. I would have made $1 million. I got great feet. Not anymore. Now they're gnarled. But at the time, man, I didn't even need product. They just frickin' shone. I put my feet up, you know, do whatever position you asked for. Yeah, we really missed out on that boat.
Yeah.
I don't have to shave. I'm completely hairless. Seriously. Like, you want me to take it off?
I really don't.
Yeah, nothing.
Wow.
Like, you can project a movie on me.
You got to put a shirt on here.
No, it's true. And I gotta tell you, you know, no offense or anything to people, but I'm grateful to be mostly hairless. It just makes grooming and stuff a little bit easier. I remember my first job. I worked at this place called the Flower Shop. It was a greenhouse, but also did I got to do like funeral bouquets and stuff like that. But I mostly worked in the greenhouses, taking care of the mums. But I had this.
Was that the URL for your OnlyFans?
No, it's a flower. But anyways,
obviously.
Well, you know, we didn't have the internet, or I would have been like, you know, Mumsford and Sons. But anyways, uh, uh, come on Friday, we're getting close to the end of the day, and I'm not just telling tales. This really happened. Um, One of my coworkers, another guy, we were seniors in high school. He came up to me and he was like, "Hey, man." He was like, "Hey, man, I got a date tonight. Will you help me nair my back?" And I was like, "No, dude, I'm not going to help you nair your back." The fuck? Now I kind of wish I had. I'm assuming he found somebody to help him out for date night, but I've never had to nair my back, and I'm grateful for it.
That sounds awful.
You know, if you're in a situation where you think about nairing your back, I kind of feel like you should just go with what you got. Be like, "Look, babe, I'm what they called hirsute, and when this when this internet thing takes off, it's going to be a whole fetish thing. Learn to love it."
Oh man, that's
Brings
hilarious.
us back around to the label I most want to work for, Melusine.
Oh, this has been fun. Yeah, that's it. We kind of just wanted to go over the last year, talk about some wishes, and hang out for a spell. We don't get a lot of time to talk because most of our episodes are filled with 85 announcements.
Oh, I know, man. Oh, hey, next time, don't let me forget to speaking of pornos, don't let me forget to talk about this project I did on Kathy Acker. You know Kathy Acker, the writer?
Nope.
Oh man, that's a funny story.
I thought Kathy Acker was the Kathy in the newspaper that says Ack.
Oh my god, dude. Oh, after the
Come on, that
show,
was a decent joke.
yeah. But after the show, when you Google Kathy Acker, you're going to be like, "Oh my god!" Comparing Kathy Acker to the Kathy cartoon, holy shit!
Oh, that was fun.
Yeah, dude, you gotta check Kathy Acker out. Well, anyway, next time. Oh, just in time for Valentine's Day. Let me tell you a story about this project I did on Kathy Acker. In my youth, my rebellious, obnoxious youth, as opposed to my defeated, obnoxious middle age.
I'm looking at Kathy Acker now, and I'm just seeing the same thing. You look so pissed off.
Like, I don't even know what you're talking about, man. Kathy Acker. Voice of a generation.
Before Will runs out of apple juice, we're going to call this a night. Thanks for hanging out tonight, everybody. Anything else you want to cover before we call it a night, Mr. Will?
Yeah, dude. I'm just getting warmed up.
On that note, we'll see y'all next Thursday. Gosh, I only
What's
did
that
this
from?
a couple weeks ago. Oh, I have no idea.
That Scent of a Woman? Is that what that's from?
Maybe.
Oh, let me tell you, if I dated Kathy Acker, I wouldn't have lasted long. Holy shit, man. She's a force of nature.
Next Thursday, I've got Chris Stashew from the Culture Cast on the show. It's the first time he's been on live. He was the one I did a video with a couple weeks ago. Well, now it's probably been 4 or 5 weeks, where we talked about found footage films. And yeah, he will be live with us next Thursday, and we will see y'all then. Thanks for hanging out. See you in the Discord. Check out the Patreon at the link below if you'd like.
I kind of feel like that show you should pre-record.
Why?
Yeah, to make it found footage.
Thanks, everybody. Have a good night.
No, I could come on and be like,
thank you for watching The Disconnected. On the way out, make sure that you are subscribed to the channel, that you've liked the video, and that you've copied the link to be able to share with someone else that may appreciate this.